Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Livewire TV. So we've been away for a little while, but my God, we have come back with a bang. I am super excited for this episode because the topic itself, it really is close to my heart and something I can 100% relate to. So for those of you who are new here, first of all, welcome. Livewire TV is the place where we like to talk all about business strategies, marketing strategies, and mindset to elevate your business. We talk all about the inspiring conversations, and Livewire TV is a part of Livewire Media, where we do corporate videography and video marketing. Now, I've got somebody super special for you guys today because I know that a lot of you guys watching, you're interested in growth, rapid growth, and how to do it safely as well without any kind of complications along the road. So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in this episode with my guest, Anne. Anne, welcome to the show all the way from the US.
Hello, Ruhini. Good to be here and thank you. It's a pleasure. And hi, everyone.
So Anne is an expert in helping businesses to up-level their game, literally in every single way. I've seen the testimonials of her previous clients and I've even spoken to them as well. And she will literally take your business from where it is right now to a six-figure income or whatever your goal is. She's not exactly a business coach. She is more of like a business consultant. She will help you to understand the areas of your business that you might be missing out. And sometimes when, as business owners, we're so busy working kind of in the business that we forget to see like the bigger picture of everything. And that's exactly why having somebody like Anne is really, really useful. She will help you to take your business to the next level and your mindset as well. So, Anne, how did you get into your line of work?
Well, it starts, oh gosh, over 30 years ago, I became an entrepreneur. When I left my corporate income, I was working in business management, managing multiple $1 million departments in a retail company.
Yeah.
And I left that after 13 years and I left my corporate income to become a stay at home mom. And we started struggling financially. There wasn't a lot of opportunity where we moved to. And I was looking for a way to make money. So I started my first business, which went actually global. That was before the internet, before
Wow.
technology. I sold that business after 7 years. I started my second. I've built six businesses total. I've sold five of those for significant profits. I'm always a big believer in try to build something that you can sell. It's a game changer in your life. And then I really, through all those years, there were a lot of pitfalls, there were a lot of mistakes, a lot of things that I didn't know that I wish I would have known. And in my fifth business, I hired my first business coach. And now I had done some business growth things before that with conferences and things like that, but I didn't even really know business coaches existed. And so I hired her because I had opened up a business in the middle of a recession in a brand new market. And I was struggling, even though I had all this other success, I was struggling to get that business above break even, which
Yeah.
break even is when you're just paying the bills. That's it. You're not making any profit. You're not making an income. You're just paying the bills. So I hired my first business coach. It was such an incredible game changer. She was a brilliant marketer, which helped a lot, but it was such a game changer for me personally when I saw the value that I just knew I had to do it. And so I just literally became a student of anything and everything that I didn't already know that I could learn to help other people. And I really started out, I already had built a network of business owners around me because I had businesses in the market. And I just literally reached out to them and said, hey, I want to become a business coach, but I want to make sure that I can help you. So would you let me help you with your business? And, they paid me not big fees, but they paid me. And after the first two clients, when I saw the results that I could help them get, I said, okay, I do know what I'm doing here. I
Yeah.
definitely can help people do this. Massive results right out of the gate with my clients.
Oh,
And so that was almost 11 years ago. So I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants through those 11 years in 50 different industries. So today I mostly work with coaches, consultants, and professional service providers, but I really can work with any business. So
Amazing. Guys, get your questions in for Anne as well. Drop them in the comment section. We'll be answering questions live. If there's something that you're not sure about, if there's something that you want to know, now is the time to ask as well. And also do share this out with people, because you never know like who is watching, and somebody on your newsfeed might actually benefit from seeing this, and you essentially would have paid it forward to them as a result of you sharing this. So, and there's so many different directions I could take this talk in. Like, first of all, you said so nonchalantly that, oh, I've just set up 6 businesses and I've sold 5 of them. What was that whole kind of period like for you in a mindset point of view? Because the reality is that a lot of people do struggle to set up one business and sell one business.
mhm. Yes, I think, I learned, first of all, I've always, throughout my whole life, I've been involved in a lot of things that required mindset. So sports, activities, always doing things that elevated myself.
Yeah.
And so I always had a mindset of not being a quitter, sticking with it, making it work, building success, and to be really honest, I was an entrepreneur when I was about 6 or 7 years old. I ran craft classes in my basement for a dime to all the neighborhood kids. And so I think it's always kind of been in my DNA and in my blood, but I'm not a quitter. I'm someone that loves to keep rising. I keep raising the bar for myself. And so just having that sort of winning spirit or that winning attitude, I always know that there's a solution. Here's a great takeaway for everyone: there is always a solution, always, to anything that comes up, any challenge. And the more you work through those things, the more you will learn. And so I think that it was just really, I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
With my first business, it just took everything. We didn't have technology. I didn't have all of the stuff that we have today. I can't even imagine what it would have been like. And I had to build my business, really very grassroots, and I bootstrapped. When you come up through business bootstrapping and you have overhead, you have employees, you have, um, cost that if you, I think about even my second and my third business, we expanded those businesses to the point where, we took out a big loan. We didn't have crowdfunding. We didn't have investors. Those were not options that we just really had access to. And so we took out, to expand one of my businesses, a very, very large loan to expand that. The timing was right. We knew we had to make an expansion, or it was really just going to almost decline. So that's one thing that you have to realize in business. You hit that point where you either grow or you go backwards. It never stays the same. It will never stay the same. And so you have to also make those hard decisions, and you have to think about what is the future of your business. So we took out a huge loan at one point. It was very, very scary. I, got myself into a huge amount of overhead, and I didn't really know everything I was in for, but I took the leap. And we would have lost everything had that business failed. And when you are in that kind of a situation, you get gutsy really quick, and you really, you really step up to the plate. You have to step up to the plate. I wasn't willing to lose everything. I was willing to figure it out. So I hope that answers the question.
It does absolutely. It's all about mindset. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. And believing in yourself,
Yes.
believing in yourself in a big, big way as well. So without further ado, let's get on to the 5 steps for rapid business growth. And I'm also intrigued with the whole like working less concept as well.
Yes, yes. So I have, through the years, used a strategy that I actually used in my very first business, and even in my second business and my third. And I discovered a strategy all of the 30 years ago that has been a game changer in all of my businesses. And what it is a lot of people have, I say it's your fastest path. And that is to sell premium services as your main core offer. And the reason I say that is because I ran health clubs, and health clubs are volume. So that's, I equate that with the low ticket stuff we see online, right? Everybody, all, bring in as many people as you can. It's the whole volume method. But what I found through all of my past businesses, and even with my current business, is when you're trying to build a business on volume, there's nothing wrong with that. It is one way to build a business. But so often people are leaving a lot of money on the table because they're focused on the low ticket things rather than saying, how can I step this up and make 3 to 10 to 20 times more for a sale than what I'm currently making? And so years ago, I implemented a program into one of my health clubs that was $12,000. Now, this was, again, 28 years ago, unheard of. And we sold them. And I had a program that I ran that was 5 times the gym fees that we were charging. That program made me more than $1 million. And it was such an eye opener to me. Why not step up what you're charging and offer something more premium, and then everything else can come up behind it? And so I learned this in the coaching space as well. When I started, I was taught to get very low value clients. My first clients were low fees. But what I found is I kept hitting that income ceiling. I could not get beyond a certain point. And the way I was being taught to structure my coaching business and being in the online space, I was taught everything low ticket, and then you try to ascend people and you try to scale people up. But what I found was that was not getting me the cash flow that I wanted to grow my business. It was very frustrating. I wasn't getting the clients that I really wanted to work with. I felt like it was a consistent push. And I literally at one point almost quit my coaching business and my consulting business. And that was after building 5 other businesses. So I say I'm not a quitter, but I had to figure it out. I knew something just was not right. And so
there's a difference between quitting because you've given up and quitting when you know something's not quite right.
Yes, exactly. So I took a step back and I said, okay, what do I already know that I have already done in business that can also work in this industry? And what I came up with is I have to charge higher fees for what I'm doing. I have a lot of value. I have so much to offer. I have 40 plus years of business marketing sales experience to bring to my clients. Why do I had to go through all the pain and the loss of money and the wasted money, and I had to figure all that out, and I had to pay the price for that. And so that was such a mindset shift for me. I don't have to give this away. If I'm helping people catapult their business, make big leaps, make a lot more money, and they don't have to struggle the way I did, that is worth money. And so it was that shift that really helped me change the game in my business. I even wrote, my best-selling book around it. And so when I did that, it just changed everything. All of a sudden, my income catapulted. I got great clients. I got clients who were invested in their success. They got better results because they were invested in their success and they were committed, and they were paying good money to do that. And it just changed everything. And so now the first thing I look at when I work with any kind of business, whether it's a small business, an entrepreneur, a coach, a consultant, I look at, okay, what is your business model? How are you trying to build your business? Are you trying to do it with 5,000 people? Or do you have something premium that we could package up or put together, and then that becomes your focus, and everything else can be a downsell? So I teach one core offer, high premium. A lot of people say high ticket. I go premium, not high ticket. I think high ticket's very overused, and I don't consider a lot of the fees that people consider high ticket. I work with clients where we put together $100,000 offers for them, or $200,000 offers for them, $50,000. So it's just a faster path.
So what do you do with the lower ticket items then?
Yes, that's a great question. So I teach that those are really the third tier. So I really believe in like a 3-tier approach. You've got your high, your premium services, you've got your mid-tier services. A lot of times I take people's highest and that becomes their mid, or that
Okay.
becomes their low. And then everything's a downsell. But here's the thing, a lot of people don't build a business that's really scalable without investing a lot of time, a lot of money, having a big team, all of those things. So when you do the premium service and you do one core offer, and it should be around the thing that you are literally the best at. What is your expertise? What are you so good at? And that's so valuable to other people that they would happily pay you those fees for.
Yeah.
And when you build your business around one core offer, then from there, you build everything else out. So you can have other offers, but you're only selling yourself one way for one offer. And then when people come to you, they are they'll buy into what you feel they need. So if you're selling services, so for example, if someone comes to me to work with me, I would look at, okay, what are the gaps that you have in your business? What do you need? And then I would steer them to where I felt it would be the best fit, both financially, time wise, what their needs are. So a startup, for example,
Yeah.
I wouldn't work with a startup for 30 days. That would not help them. They need more than that. So when you do your business that way, you put people into what's going to get them the best results, but you can downsell them into those lower ticket things. So I teach that's kind of the last thing you should be adding to your business, not the first. And a lot of people with the whole Russell Brunson method, right? The whole value ladder, sell low ticket and then try to ascend people. And I teach just the opposite, flip that, sell high first, sell premium, and then downsell people if they can't invest in your high ticket or your premium. Does it make sense?
100% makes sense to me. But guys, if you have any questions about this, because we are really just scratching the surface with that particular topic alone, drop a question in the comment section below, and Anne will follow up with you guys afterwards as well. So that's pretty much like your kind of philosophy, if you like, in a nutshell. What are the other steps that are involved?
Yes. So once you figure out what is your business model going to be, now you need a great marketing strategy behind that. And the great thing about getting very focused on something premium that you can sell over and over again is,
Yeah.
number one, it's going to give you cash flow. You need cash flow to stay in business and to grow your business. You need cash flow. And so if you're selling low, a lot of people never get the traction and they never really get the cash flow. And it's why they're always just keeping their head above water. But if you think about it, Rohini, if you're selling something for, let's say, $25,000, you bring in a client. Now, they may not be paying you all of that at one time, but even if they're paying you $5,000, that's a big difference from trying to sell $50, $100 clients, right? And
Yeah.
so now you've got some cash flow there. So once you have the offer in place, now you want to put the marketing strategy behind only promoting that one thing. And when you do that, then you're bringing the right people to you, and then you put them into whatever you need. So the second thing is you need a great marketing strategy that will bring you clients, and it needs to be a system. And I say position yourself really for your expertise, how you're different, who you help, how you help them, get that positioning in the marketplace, and only sell yourself for that so that people are seeing the same thing over and over again. A lot of people have multiple businesses. So if I go check them out, or their message isn't clear, their marketing isn't clear, I have no clue what they do. If I go and look at, this is a great takeaway for someone too. If I go and look at your social media and I only have 3 to 10 seconds, is it clear to me exactly what you do, how you're different, who you help? Why should I trust you?
Yeah. It does sound like a lot of information to kind of cram into that 3 seconds, but the psychological reason for that, and I'm sure you're well aware of this, Anne, is that it's people's attention span.
Yes.
People need to get that first impression of you straight away. And if that sounds overwhelming, Think of it like a first impression when you meet somebody for the first time, say at a networking event, for example. They want to get to know who you are pretty much instantly. We live in a world where everything is instant nowadays, right? So, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you need a strong marketing strategy. The third thing you need is a great sales process. A lot of people, a lot of people in business fly by the seat of their pants. Really, they do. And I did it also. So it's not uncommon, right? We get in, we think we know what we're doing, and we just sort of keep treading the waters and we keep trying to figure things out. And so the third thing is you need systems. And when I say systems, I'm not talking about complicated systems. I'm talking about what is your sales process? What is that conversation that you have with your leads or your prospects when they come to you? Do you have that built into a system? Have you mapped out those questions that you ask? And then you can't fix something if it's never the same.
Yeah.
So if your sales conversations have no rhyme or reason and they're all over the place and they're never the same, how can you possibly make that more effective? And so it's the same with your marketing. If you're trying to market yourself 20 different ways, 10 different things, and you're marketing, you're all over the place. How can you ever really know what's going to work or get something to work? So when you do one core offer, now you only need one strategy, get it working. Then you can add on additional marketing, strategies, but get one working first. And a lot of people just don't do this. They're just all over the place. So it can help
Why,
you.
why is that? Why do you think people kind of spread themselves a bit thin like that?
I really believe it's because they don't get traction with something. And so especially if you are in the online world, it is so easy to get distracted and think that there's another magic thing over here and another magic thing over here. And before you know it, or, oh, somebody's got the secret
The
with
shiny
their new thing,
penny.
the shiny, I call it SOS, shiny object syndrome, definitely help, right? Because it helps people lose focus, they get distracted. And then
Yeah.
what happens, and this happens a lot when I work with people, I'll go into work with them and they'll be like, I'm just not hitting the levels that I want. And I'm exhausted. Like, I'm so tired. I feel like I live my business. I have no life. And I'll look and they'll have, 30 things they're trying to sell. That
Yeah.
is exhausting. That's it, completely exhausting. So when we cut away all of the things that aren't making them money, that really haven't worked very well, and we focus on one thing that is their primary core to their business, then we can really put a lot of juice behind that. I say put it on steroids. We can create the marketing strategy. We can get the sales process in place. We can get out there and promote that. And just doing that can often just give them really, really fast leaps, really
Yeah.
fast leaps. So cutting away is a big piece of it. So having systems, one core offer, let me kind of back up here. One core offer, uh, your positioning in the marketplace, you talked about that a little bit too, that outside perception.
Yeah.
That is part of marketing, but to me, it's separate. It needs to be a separate piece in your business because it is a foundation, it's a fundamental. And then you can put the marketing strategy behind it. Then you need the sales process. Then from there, you can grow and scale by adding a team, running ads, automation. All of those things can come later. And the great thing about focusing on a premium offer first is you don't have to have a big team. You don't have to have funnels. You don't have to.
Yeah. Oh, I think we've just lost Anne for a little minute there. So, guys, just to recap, we're just talking about the various stuff. Oh, and I think she's back again.
Oh, yeah, I think we are. Oh, I still lost you. You're still, yeah, there we go. There we go. Now I have to rethink here where I was. But
You just recapping on the previous steps, Anne.
yes. So once you do that, you can put the systems in place and everything becomes rinse and repeat. And then you can add in other things.
I've got a quick question for you, Anne. Do you have to be technically savvy to make all of this happen?
No, I really where the being technically savvy comes in is when you're to me when you're trying to do everything by volume. You
Mm,
know, think about a $500,000 business, for example. If you are only going to work with 10, $50,000 clients, you don't need a lot of technology for that, right? You need a scheduler. You need to know how to go out and have conversations. You can go out and get 10 clients. You could probably go speak and sign up 3 people or 4 people. And so, no, you don't need that. And that's the other thing. I always teach people a very leveraged way to grow their business
yeah.
that doesn't require a lot of complication. The only thing I would say that you really have to have with technology is you do have to get your social media platforms in place. You do have to get content in place. That's all part of that positioning. So you from that technical standpoint, yes, you need to be able to be online. You need to understand how to run, do Facebook or LinkedIn, or you have to have those basic fundamentals in place. But
Yeah.
outside of that, complicated funnels, to me, that's later. That is later. All the automation, that's later in the game. You don't
Mm.
need all of that when you're building your business the way I'm talking about here, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, yeah. But guys, if you do have any questions for Anne, drop them in the comment section below. And even if you're watching on the replay, drop a hashtag replay. Drop your questions in as well, because Anne will more than be happy to follow up with you. So, what is the final step then?
So the final step, once you hit that scale and leverage that we talked about, automation, paid ads, what building your team, then I like to say the final step is speed. How fast do you want it to happen?
Mm,
And I know from personal experience, and I don't know if you work with a coach or a consultant, someone to help you, but I will tell you, we don't have to go through everything I went through for 30 years because of people like myself that is out there helping businesses really just shortcut all of that stuff that most people struggle with. So I say speed, and that means you need to work with someone. If you want to do things faster, easier, with less waste, with more freedom, more time in your life, you don't have to do things the hard way anymore. There are too many people out there with the DIY, and a lot of times they fall into that because of the way they're trying to build their business. So they never have the funds to hire someone. But hiring someone to work with you and show you the shortcuts that they've already figured out
yeah.
instead of trying to reinvent the wheel. Speed to me is one of the biggest advantages that we have today in the marketplace that we just did not always have.
Like even the most successful entrepreneurs, like in the entire world, like Tony Robbins,
Mhm.
Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, they have mentors themselves as
Yes,
well,
they do.
because you only have two pairs of eyes. Imagine what you could do with four.
Yes, that's exactly right. And why try to figure it out when people have already done it? I mean, if you kind of think about it, it really is kind of insane
Yeah.
that you want to waste all the time and the effort when, it's really interesting. I work with clients sometimes that in like I think of one of my clients, she struggled for 3 years as an entrepreneur. And she chased a lot of shiny objects. She lacked focus. She had all of this amazing skill set and talent and knowledge, but she just couldn't put all the pieces together. And so she was just all over the place. Nothing was working. I did a 3-hour session with her, and in 3 days, she doubled the money she paid me. And in a couple of weeks, she signed the biggest client of her entire career,
Yeah.
all because she implemented these things. She got focused, she got a game plan, and she worked with somebody to show her the right
Yeah.
steps to take and the direction to take. And I have worked with umpteen coaches and mentors. And I really came up with my process because I did a lot of things wrong when I started my coaching and consulting business. I was taught a lot of the same things that I see entrepreneurs out there taught, and they
Yeah.
didn't work for me. And like I said, I got frustrated. I almost quit my business. I was so frustrated. Why can't I figure this out? I mean, I built a lot of businesses. What is different about this? And what I realized, it was just really the way I was being taught to build the business. It just wasn't a good model, and it wasn't. It just didn't work real well.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that. And I'm sure you guys watching on LinkedIn can relate to that as well. Me, I think I honestly spent about the first two, maybe 2.5 years of my business life just faffing around.
Right, right. You don't have to do that though. You
Exactly,
know,
exactly.
one thing that I think is really important for people to know is that business isn't free. And I have never built a business where there was not a risk. There wasn't money that had to be invested. You know, over all the businesses that I've built, there was always money that had to go out to invest. In the online world, you don't have all of the overhead and all of that kind of thing until you get your business going. But
Yeah,
one of the best pieces of advice that I could give to anyone, it especially if they are a startup, is to plan on hiring a coach or a mentor. Because if you don't, you might never figure it out. I mean, you
mm,
might never make money in this online crazy world that we are in. And so if you think about business isn't free, there should be an investment. Plan on that if you're going to start a business or if you're just getting started. A lot of people say, well, I don't want to do debt. It's not debt if there's going to be a return. And you have to understand the difference between debt and investment. And again, business isn't free. There's always going to be an investment. But what a lot of people don't realize is they'll either invest to make it happen or they'll invest with mistakes. That's just the fact. They'll lose money. Either way, they're going to spend the money. And a lot of people don't realize that.
totally agree with you on that one, Anne. It is an investment because you are getting something back. And when I think
Mhm.
when you look at something as a cost, you're going in it with a fixed mindset.
Mhm.
You're going in it with a transactional mindset. You're not going in with an open mind. So, like with that in mind, so other than the tips and advice that you've given to us already, which has been incredible, by the way, what advice would you give to people who are maybe in a little bit of a rut right now? They want to grow. What would be your advice to them?
I would say the very first thing to look at is how can you get more per client or customer. So how can you raise what you are doing? How can you raise that average sale? That is your fastest path to make money and it's all profit. So when you if you think about this, your next client, if you could 10 times what you make on your very next client, what would that change in your business? How
Mm,
much more money would you make? And now you could put some money back into your business to continue to grow it. But that absolutely is your fastest path. And anyone can do this. You have things that you can put together, put to create a premium offer. Everyone does that has really anything going on in their business. So raising your prices or adding a premium service, it is the hands down the number one fastest way to put money in your pocket.
totally.
um, the other thing is look at your sales closing. Are you missing, are you losing sales? So you're getting leads, you're getting good prospects, but you're not closing sales. Work on that sales process because that's money, again, being left on the table, going out the door that you could be capturing where you're already doing all the hard work to get those people to you, but you're not getting them to the finish line. So
Yeah.
those are the two things that if you look at those two things in your business, they can have massive uh, impact on your business.
Final question for you, Anne. In comparison to the traditional model, which you explained earlier about selling low ticket items and then upselling them, because building a business can be quite energy draining, can't it? So, in
Mhm.
comparison to that model, how much energy does it take with your 5 step plan?
A lot less when you have the right things in place because again, you've got to get everything dialed in, right? So the energy is going to be to dial it in. But
Mm,
once you do, you just tell me, is it going to be easier to run a business with 5,000 clients or with 10?
yeah,
What's going to require more time, more work? What's going to require more marketing dollars? And that's why the whole volume method, to me, the volume method, that's why I talk about getting time back into your life. Because when I help people 5 or 10 times what they're making per person, per new client, they don't need as many. All of a sudden they get their life back. They don't have much money going out. And so it is a game changer for them. And if they want to keep scaling, they now have the funds to hire a team to, do what's already working and ramp it up. So there, again, there's a lot of ways to do it, but what is going to take less time, be more profitable, take less team, take less headache? And I hope that answered your question.
It does, it does. And as always, guys, if you have a question for Anne, comment below.
Definitely.
And we'll definitely follow up with you guys, or we can answer it live for you right now. So Anne, where can people connect with you?
Yes. Well, first of all, if you need any help with any of the things that I've been talking about, I have offers where I can work with someone for something fast to help them maybe get a breakthrough. And maybe there's just one thing they're struggling with, and I can do that with you in 3 or 4 hours or 30 days. So I have an intensive. But if you would like to book a call to talk to me about getting some help or looking at some new things for your business to get you what you want to really help you reach your goals, then you can actually go to carden.com and book a call with me, book a strategy call. And if you're not ready to do that, I have a Facebook group called Next Level Consultants, Coaches, and Experts Scaling to 7 Figures. You can find me in that group, but you can also find me on LinkedIn. You can Google me and find me 100 ways.
And the wonderful thing about Anne is that the proof is in the pudding for her. She's very much an example of everything that she talks about. There's a lot of coaches out there that kind of claim to say, we can get you to 6 figures or 7 figures. And it's just a load of marketing spiel. I personally seen from Anne, like firsthand, the experience and the knowledge that she has will massively help you to step up your game. So definitely connect with Anne, because you will learn so much more. And it's always, always good to connect with people who are on a higher vibe than you or on your level. So that's it for me from this week, guys. Make sure that you join us next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. GMT time. We're going to be deep delving into mindset to elevate your business and your life as well. Have a great week, guys. Take care.
Hi, thank you.